reserved for you.
We the realest, that's a promise. If you're ready to be honest, pull upon us. You know we ain't young, we've been through it. So come and take a seat, get comfortable. Wanna share your world, you can trust your girls. We just tryna hear your truth. If you wanna talk about it, let's talk about it. There's a secret reserved for you. So say what you want, ain't no right or wrong. It's your vibe, you choose. If you wanna talk about it, let's talk about it. There's a seat reserved for you, yeah.
Welcome to The Reserved Seat, the show where we chat to other influential movers and shakers regarding the intricacies of their respective journeys.
Each episode will hopefully make you laugh whilst leaving you with a fresh perspective on your faves. So come take a seat, get comfortable.
Today's guest, debut single Never Loved, was named BBC Radio 1 Extra's Track of the Week, launching her into the spotlight. She followed with her EPs In the Meantime and The Art of Conversation in 2022, gaining more recognition.
Her 2021 performance of her single Evil Eyes on Colour Studios expanded her audience much further. In 2022, she debuted at Wireless Festival and released her third EP, Adultsville, produced by Grammy Award winner Ari Pensmith.
With over 20 million streams, she was nominated for Best R&B and Soul Act in the 2023 MOBO Awards and Best New International Act at the 2024 BET Awards.
Everybody please give it up for Miss Bellah! Yeah, a gorgeous babe.
Yes.
Wow. Face card. I mean,
Yeah,
but you've
exactly.
been new. Let's be.
I don't want to be on board like that. No, thank you guys for having me.
All right, you have to clink, clink, sister.
Welcome
Clink,
to
clink,
the
clink,
show.
clink, 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 clink,
Cheers,
clink,
cheers,
clink, clink, clink,
cheers.
clink, clink, clink. Okay, you ready for some quick fire questions?
Oh, scared. Okay, yeah, go.
Yeah, and they gotta be quick fire, child. Okay, let's go.
Dream collab, dead or alive?
Scissor.
What's your favorite R&B diss?
My favorite R&B diss. SOS by Scissor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
For sure. And low-key, she was gunning for everybody.
That's true, That is
Yeah.
true. Okay, first album you ever bought?
Sierra Goodies.
Period. Taste.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's good, that's good,
£10
that's
from
good.
Tesco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we all have it. Sing me your go-to ad-lib. That's like across everything. What's like a Bellah thing that you do at everything?
Yeah.
Period.
We love a singer.
Yeah.
We love a singer.
I love real singers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, how old were you when you had your first studio session?
10.
You were 10 in your
Yeah.
first session.
Yeah.
Baby.
I was a baby. My mum got it for me for my 10th birthday.
Did
Oh my
she? That's so
goodness.
cute. That's
Yeah.
really cute.
She was
That's
like, I
the
know what
cutest
you want to
thing.
do. I'm like, yeah, girl.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
That's
I
so
sang Be
fun.
Without You by Mary J. At 10 years
At
old.
10?
What did I know about anything?
Listen, you felt it though.
was
Whatever you
saying.
didn't know, but
I
you
was
felt
there.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, well that quick fire round went quickly.
It did.
We ready to get deeper?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, so you've just literally spoken about the fact that your mum put you in a session at 10, but you also have said in the past that she put you in musical theatre.
She did.
And you've always had a love for music and performing. Did 10-year-old you see yourself doing musical theatre forever?
I think so at the time because I started musical theatre when I was 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, she wasn't playing. You know, like soccer mums, but musical theatre version.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm her only child, so she was like,
Okay.
whatever you want to do it, but do this though.
Pushing you.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I think I always thought I was going to be a performing artist.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the concept of like writing your own songs and performing your own songs. So I genuinely thought I was going to be on stage doing some kind of performance. And I also wanted to be a dancer first before. I literally, my dream job was I'm going to be Beyonce's backing dancer and that's going to be it. And my mom's like, okay, open your mouth and sing. Sing though.
Did she know very quickly that you could sing?
Yeah, I think she heard a song on the radio. It was Norah Jones, Don't Know Why. And she was like, I think you would sound really good singing this song. And I was like, girl, what do you know about anything? At 10, I really thought I knew everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, you don't know anything. And then I sang it. I was like,
Oh, you kind of ate that.
Can your mum sing?
no.
She can't. Okay.
Not even though she loves music though. She loves
Okay.
music. She loves
She's got
the
a good ear.
arts. She loves the theatre. So I think she just kind of
guided you.
Yeah.
Put me in
Love.
that space.
So how do you go from musical theatre, which is obviously very technical? I went to a theatre school too. I went to Sylvia Young's. I actually hate theatre, which is hilarious. I'm not a theatre girly at all. But obviously musical theatre is very technical. R&B is way more free.
Yes.
How do you jump from that into R&B?
Into R&B. I think it's easier doing it from theatre to R&B than from R&B to theatre.
Yeah.
I think even when I was doing theatre, they had to rein me in.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, this is the note.
Yeah.
Stop adding 4 notes to this note because it's just this note. And I think because I feel like I discovered, I've always had R&B in my life, but diving into it was when I was like 9 or 10. And I say that's late, personally. But to some people it's like right on time, I don't know. But when I was diving into that world and I was like, there are people that sound like me, and it was more tone-based as well, because in theatre, they're there for the powerhouses.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I can get there eventually. I'll get there.
Yeah.
But like, I was listening to Michael, I was listening to Brandy, I was listening to Lauryn Hill, I was listening to Janet, and I was like, all these soft voice babes.
Yeah.
I like these are my people. So I very early on tried to incorporate that into my theatre, and they were like, hey, stop that.
Stop that right there.
Stop that right there.
That makes total sense. So you have said that you learned how to songwrite from scratch.
Yes.
What does that look like? And was it, or is it now, still lyrics or melodies first?
When I first, so I love the English language. Even though I butcher it every day. it's like a full circle thing for me. I think the Nigerian in me wants to tear the English language to pieces. However, I love the English language, and I think I was very good at English at school, and I was very good at poetry, but I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together and seeing poetry as a transferable skill.
Right.
So when I found management, and my manager was like, hey, you're gonna have to write songs, I was like, I don't.
What is that?
No habla inglés. Like, I don't know what you're saying. And then he taught me a lot, and I got it. Now it's melody before lyrics, but I love lyrics so much. So when I get the fantastic, because when you say, oh, what's that song again? And then you sing the melody first.
Yeah.
So when I realized that the psyche of the human brain, I was like, okay, cool, let's get a melody that's gonna catch people.
Yeah.
But I always prioritize, like, let's actually say something.
Yeah.
Like, let's say something in this song. So
There needs to be more of that.
absolutely. I'm with you.
So how do you balance being a singer and a songwriter? Does one take precedence over the other, or?
I think they're on the same playing field for me. I just look at that whole thing as artistry.
Right.
So, and then when I'm songwriting for other people, if I'm in a session and they need me to songwrite, I kind of separate the two then, and I don't really care. But when I'm doing Bellah stuff, it all comes as a package.
Yeah.
Because I have to be able to sing what I'm songwriting.
Course.
But I also want to say, again, like I was saying, actually have a song that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's saying something.
yeah.
For sure. So, artist development.
Yes.
Let's have a little chin wag because
God.
she is rare, Chilo. She's rare these days.
She's rare.
You were in artist development for 5 whole years.
Yeah.
How did that help you become a better artist, and why is it so important to do artist development?
I think I can only answer this with the hindsight that I have. When I was in artist development, I wanted to
You're
release.
fuming.
Yeah.
I was like, why no release?
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you?
Good song outside.
Yeah.
And my manager was like,
It's not
saying
time.
This, and I, do you know what? As much as it hurt my little feelings back then, I just thank God for it because I have a lot of shame. I'm shameless, but I have a lot of shame. Do
you
know
feel
what I mean?
embarrassment.
Embarrassment is close to my heart. And I just feel like if I had done what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, I would look back and be like, please, let's not talk about
Right.
that. Like right now, I could say there's only one song in my discography where I'm like, please don't talk to me about that.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like scared.
That's the one song I'll skip, but
Yeah.
I'm so grateful because it refined my ear for my stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're excited about music and you're in the studio and you're listening back to yourself and you're hearing yourself in a way that you've never heard yourself before, like you sound like you could be on radio and you're, you know, they're adding the reverb and the tuning and you're like, raw, I'm not saying my stuff.
Yeah.
I think you get carried away a little bit. And I feel like we're in this pandemic of going to the studio once and releasing the thing that you made in that studio.
Yeah.
That
Let's
day.
stop that day.
That day.
Let's stop that immediately.
Furthermore, let's stop giving everyone
Everyone's
studio time.
time.
Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna start boxing engineers.
Thank you.
In their face.
Thank you.
Stop that.
'Cause there's
I understand the cost of living, but sometimes
Integrity.
integrity. Let's bring it back. But no, it really helped me have an ear for my own stuff and go, do you know what? This is cool.
Yeah.
Maybe not for me. I can pitch it. I can save it for a rainy day. I can content this piece.
Talk to us about some of the pros and cons of being an independent artist.
Hey, God.
Now, I know we'll be here forever and ever. Maybe try and whittle them down to like 4 each.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. This is also another journey that I've been on because if you were to ask me this 2 years ago, I would have said there's nothing good about being an independent artist. The cons of being an independent artist is budget. Budget and finding the team, the correct team for marketing, and everything boils down to budget because it's just about how do we pay the correct people to do the correct things for you. I think, I can put all the cons of being independent underneath budget because underneath the budget has is an umbrella and then marketing, reach, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. The pros though is that you earn a lot more. You have distribution services now, so you've got label services with still owning your creative identity and the things that make sense. You get to build leverage because I feel like at some point every artist, if that's what you want, or if you're looking at a certain kind of trajectory, is going to experience the major label system.
Absolutely.
At some point. But when you're independent, you get to kind of build the leverage. So you don't go there and then the major label offers you £10 and a lollipop for your
even get a
project.
lollipop.
You might not even get the lollipop.
A young mint.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that you build and then you can go in there and be like, well, I've done this without you. What can you offer me? And then add out another 100K on that, and then we'll talk. And
you got an extra lollipop.
And an extra, you get me?
If I want a bag of lollies.
I want all the sweets. So I think the building of the leverage, the genuine, authentic relationships that you build with other creatives as an independent creative is like people working with you because they believe in you, not because their A&R said this is a good look and this is the next thing to go.
Yeah,
and then you have this session, you have no musical chemistry with that person. Like being in a studio is like being in a relationship with that person. Do you get what I mean? And you're like making babies locally. So if the if you're having whack sex with you gotta leave that person. So if you're having whack sessions with that person, you gotta leave that person.
Yeah, facts.
So I think you get to build more authentic relationships across the board. So with people's managers, with people's producers, with their stylists, you have to be more hands-on because nobody's doing it for you. But and if you're a people person, fantastic. If you're shy, I don't know why you're an artist in the first place.
So how do this is more on the writing front now. How do you balance writing from like personal experiences versus like universal themes?
I think they're interchangeable. I think if you've gone through something, a whole bag of people have gone through something. That's just how I feel like that's how you make the most relatable music. So when I'm in the studio, I like to have conversation. Like, I like long sessions because about 2 of those hours we're gonna just chat shit. Essentially. And so through that conversation, there's gonna be a gem. Someone's gonna say something, and we're gonna be like,
That's it.
That's what we're writing about. Come on. And this conversation feels general, feels small chat, but it's not. It's we're curating from what we said. A song that is reflective of the human experience because we had a very human experience.
Well, one of my favourite performances, the world's favourite performance. Colours, Evil Eye.
Yes.
What an incredible record, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful song. Talk to us about how that came about.
I was in the studio with Ari Pensmith, my dog, and we were trying to write an R&B song, and we were there for hours. We were really like racking our brains. We were like, it's just got to be so R&B. And I was just like, it's just not coming today. And then he decided to start producing Evila, the beat, and it started spilling out of me.
Oh wow.
And I was like, right, I've got something. So I wrote the hook, I wrote the first verse, and he was like, I got something else. And he wrote the pre, and I was like,
Oh, sick.
And then he wrote the second verse, and I was like, right. No, he didn't write the second verse. So we just had the pre, the hook, and the first verse. And we were like, really, really love this song. But we put it on the back burner. Then I released Art of Conversation. And then the following year, early the next year, the distro that I was working with, the guy that was helping me, he called me. He was like, Bells, are you free? I was like, to do what? He was like, Colours. I said, even if I wasn't free,
I'm
free now. I'm now free.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, they want you to do it, but they want you to do Evila. I said, but I've just released a project like 2 months ago. Can't I do a song on that project? They were like, nah, they've heard Evila. I said, this is a very different direction than
The new stuff.
Than the new stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, so I called Ari and I was like, what do you think? He was like, it's an opportunity that I think you need to take. And I was like, okay, brilliant. The song wasn't finished though. So 4 days before I did the Colours, I went back in with Ari and we did the second verse and we did the third verse, or like the outro bit. And yeah, and then I sang it. So when I sang it, I was singing it for the first time.
That's insane.
As when people were hearing it.
Wow.
And I was like,
That's probably why it also connected more though.
yeah, it was really
Yeah, you're like feeling it direct from
in
the
that
source.
moment.
Yeah.
How do you balance being firm and strong while navigating the fear of being labelled difficult as a black woman? Because we know that's the kiss of death, the ultimate kiss of death for us blacks.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Ooh, how you find that freedom, sister?
I don't care.
Tell me about it.
Because
I'm trying to figure that out.
I have a very, my belief system is, I believe in God, right? And I just believe that if I'm supposed to be doing something, I will be doing said thing. And if this is my calling, it's gonna happen for me, whether you tell me no or not. Like, you try to make things difficult, all of a sudden your label is doesn't exist anymore. Try to make it difficult, all of a sudden you're fired from your job. You try to make all of a sudden, oh, I wonder who did that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it genuine, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna put the art out, and you're gonna circle back.
Yeah.
Isn't that embarrassing for you?
So embarrassing.
Aren't you?
There's a lot of L's.
Aren't you a bit ashamed?
Yeah.
That you try to move nuts, and then now the song is out and it's doing what it needs to do. Or let's say the song's not even doing what it's supposed to do, but it brought loads of opportunities, and now this artist or Bellah or whoever or Kabba or Dionne is in everyone's mouth now.
Yeah.
And you have to circle back.
Yeah.
With your tail between your legs.
Yeah.
Okay, so given the challenges black women, especially dark-skinned women, face in R&B in the UK, how do you overcome shifting the goalpost? Is it about going where your music is loved and understood, or you know what I mean?
I think it's a healthy balance of both. I think me going to America as often as I do has really, really helped.
Yeah.
How often do you go to America?
Before I used to go, I would try to go once a year, if not twice, and I would go for like 2 months out of the year. So this year, early this year, I was there for Queenie stuff, and then I stayed to finish my project, and I went back and I stayed to finish my project. So as often as I can, I will be there, because you meet the people who are the pioneers of R&B. Like, let's put respect on where it's from. And then you get music, sounds, information, connects that you wouldn't get if you were to stay here and do it. But also here, you kind of just have to be excellent. It's annoying, but it's also not in my DNA to not be excellent. So I used to be like, why can't we just be mediocre? And someone was like, you don't want that. You don't want that for yourself. Like, you want excellence as well. It may look like jumping through hoops set on fire, But at the end of the day, yeah, I don't want anything that's less than brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think it's about just putting yourself out there and being like, I am incredible.
Yeah.
And you can't, undeniable is the word that I want.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
Yeah.
You can ignore it, but you can't deny it.
Love,
Yeah.
undeniable.
And unfortunately, somebody is going to take up my mantle, take up my burden, and make something happen.
Yeah.
And you would have been the person or the people or the environment that just stood there and watched.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Sickle cell is an incurable disease. It's very common in African and Caribbean backgrounds. Inherited blood disorder that affects the hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen throughout the body.
And Miss Farmers,
Yes.
you describe yourself as a sickler.
Yeah.
Paint us a picture of life living with sickle
With sickle
cell.
cell. Well, I don't describe myself as a sickler.
Okay.
That's what they use.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
I
okay.
don't like that term in the. It's not even me being crazy. I feel like the moment you say, "Oh, I'm a sickler," it's like, ugh, you sound sick.
You literally sound like.
Do you know what I mean? It's sickle cell, but make it fashion. Do you know what I mean? That's not fashion.
What's another word that you would use to describe it?
I would just say I have sickle cell, like
Yeah.
someone who suffers with sickle cell.
Okay.
But sickler is the term that they do use for people with sickle
Okay.
cell.
I
So
see.
other people might
Be okay with
Okay,
that.
cool.
Yeah.
I just it gives sicky.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Sickler. I'm
Yeah.
like, ew.
Mind you, serious ass situation here.
No, do you know what? Even you saying that, I think living with this disease, yeah, it gets so bleak sometimes. You just have to laugh. I low-key think that's where some of my humor's very dark. But a lot of my humor has come from just like, hey guys, laugh.
Yeah.
Sometimes here, sometimes not here. You know, like you just. But it has been a journey. It's been interesting because obviously I had sickle cell right up until I became an artist, and at that time I had never been an artist with sickle cell, so I didn't know what life being an artist with sickle cell entailed. And then I've spent the past 5 years now, 5 years, figuring out what that means, what that looks like, what I have to do in order to be the best me that I can be. And so that's taken some time. That's taken a toll on me. I actually last year had a very bad scare that kind of took me out for the latter half of the year. I was in LA. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Oh,
but I'm learning, is what I should say. My health, I've started a new sickle cell treatment, so that is something that's helped, and it's only been, I think, maybe 2-3 months, but absolutely helped. It's a blood exchange, so they take units of blood, they give me units of blood, and it kind of lasts for like 8 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, it was difficult at the beginning because when you are working, and because, like we were saying, we do have to work a bit harder. So when you're going, and feeling like I can't stop because I'm not afforded that grace of, just chilling. My body, specifically last year, was like, hey, I can't do this anymore.
Need a break, yeah.
And just shut down. So again, it's a journey. It's painful. I don't want anyone who has sickle cell to ever sugarcoat it. It's not nice. Like it's not nice. But I'm learning. I'm eating better. I'm figuring out the things that make sense in my schedule. So like if I have a busy week, we'll put in like a day or 2 for rest and be like, right, you're not doing anything. Before we would be like, right, you're doing this and this and this and this and this and this, and then in my brain or in our brains, we're like, yeah, grind mode, I'm hustling. I forget what motivates me, Ren. You get me? That's how
Every day I'm hustling. Goodness.
Until life says, will you hustle till you die?
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what I mean?
Literally.
Will you so I think we learned the importance of rest specifically last year. It scared the living daylights out of my whole team. Like Kenneth was literally sitting here like, okay,
Let's not play like that
Let's not do
ever
that
again.
again.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He was like, I've learnt so much. I'm sorry. Like, we were apologizing to each other. We were just like, we're not going to do that again. It's too much. And also, it's that weird fear in your mind that you feel like you're never going to get that opportunity again.
Yeah.
Or you're never going to do said thing again. And so, in my mind, I was always putting my health on the back burner because I was like, but this.
Do you know
like,
what?
I'm always going to have sickle cell, but this.
I'm not sorry to cut you, but like, I know what you're saying in a sense. This opportunity might not come, but if your health deteriorates,
then
there may no
I'm not going to be able
opportunities
to
ever
do
again.
it anyway.
Exactly.
Literally, and I was last year when I was in the hospital. There was an opportunity that came in, and they wanted to fly me out to New York to do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so upset. And my mum literally was like, if you're meant to do it, you're meant to do it.
100%.
It's fine. For them to be like, oh, don't worry, you can do it in the UK when you're better.
Oh, period.
And it was the Rolling Stone thing, and I was like,
Oh, exactly.
okay, mum, you ate that. You ate that one little thing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they absolutely do.
So that, honestly, last year taught me, like, if it's for me, if you're supposed to be doing it,
You'll
don't
be
worry,
doing it.
babe.
Yeah.
Like, don't even worry, babe. So, it's a bitch to live with, but you learn to live with it. Yeah. You learn to look at life very differently. I'm so grateful for experiences. I love people. I love talking to people. I'm like, oh, what's your tea? You know what I mean? What you got going on? It's a lot. I think life is a lot more vibrant because you realize that whole like, oh, I wake up every day and tomorrow is always going to happen thing. I don't really have that. Not to be morbid about it, but sometimes you have to be morbid about it. And I think that's why I put so much effort into everything that I'm doing, and I just don't care. I'm like, yeah, whatever, sure, if it fails, sure. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna die one day, so are you. But
I think that's an incredible way to generally go about life,
Yeah,
to be fair. Just take the leap.
just do it.
Yeah.
So you have used your single "Cause You Can" to help raise awareness for the disease. How can attention be brought to the disease? What are the ways that people can help, support, research, all of that stuff?
I think the biggest thing is we need more black blood donors.
Okay.
If you are of African or Caribbean descent, donate blood.
What age range? Or any?
Anybody can donate blood. I know you can't donate blood if you've had a piercing within 3 months.
Okay.
But yeah, donate, or just go and see if you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes my cousin actually went and they told her she was like a rare blood type that they had been looking for, and then they put her on a special list to be like, can you come
Keep
often?
coming back.
Keep coming, babe.
Wow.
So just go and donate, because even before I was very heavy on this before I started this treatment. But when I started this treatment, they were like, yeah, we have a shortage of blood, so we're just gonna have to make. And I was like, oh, I need this.
Yeah.
And so it directly impacts R&B. Okay? No, I'm joking.
The future of
The
R&B
future of R&B depends on you donating blood. Okay?
Like, guys, get up.
Honestly,
Get
and
up.
if you can't donate blood, just spread the awareness of donating blood.
Yeah.
And just do some research on it. And if you have any friends or family who have sickle cell, it's a very lonely experience because you can't, it's an invisible disability. You can't really say, hey, look at this thing. And do you know what I mean? You kind of just have to describe the pain, and it's an indescribable, it's an insane existence, period. So just check in on them and be there for them. When they're in hospital, go.
Yeah.
A phone call, a FaceTime. I don't know. It's just about being there.
Yeah.
You can't really do anything. But yeah, donating blood is number one.
The main
Okay,
thing.
the most key thing.
Is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, period. Donate blood, child.
Yeah.
Stop playing with it. Just
Stop playing with
Just
it.
get up and go donate some, or
You know
at
what I
least
mean? Or at
check
least
if you can.
check if you can, or at least encourage somebody else
Absolutely.
to do
Yeah.
it. Black, brown,
PSA.
all of that good stuff.
You've always wanted to get into acting, and last year you starred in Channel 4 and Hulu's Queenie.
Yes.
Which I love. You have been quoted saying that it seemed like a good fit for you as a role because it showed vulnerability and a different side to black women.
Yes.
How was it doing that, and how was it being her?
It's funny because acting for me was always my weakest point when I'm doing theatre, and so I kind of strayed away from it.
You
because
never noticed.
Well,
I was just going to say, that's so
Never
interesting.
noticed.
So let me rephrase. I thought it was my weakest point, so I didn't pay attention to it. Do you know what I mean? And so even when they presented me the opportunity with the audition, I was like, are you sure we shouldn't just go back to the studio and write another but I realised how much I enjoyed it when I was doing it. And yeah, it was nice to, again, be the dark-skinned friend, and I wasn't doing, oh my life, I had to fight.
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
like, it was so amazing being the comic relief and just being like light-hearted and being like, yeah, I'm down for my sis and like, and what? Do you
Do you
get
know
what I
what was
mean?
really nice as well? It's very rare when you're watching, you know, someone on TV or in a film to not see them as their persona
their persona,
outside.
yeah, their
And when I
character.
was watching you and Queenie, I remember thinking like, oh my God, I've actually forgot that this is Bellah.
Yeah, I was busting up. I was like, oh, she's funny, but I know you're funny.
Yeah, but it's a
But the
different.
character
Yeah,
is like jokes
yeah.
too,
No,
yeah.
same. I was watching it. I was like, oh, this is a character.
Yeah.
In a thing, which was really nice. Again, like I said, I think because I neglected the acting side so much, I didn't think I was able to.
Yeah.
And it was really nice getting the feedback of how much people enjoyed me in Queenie. But yeah, no, it was fantastic. It was fantastic getting to play the comic relief and getting to play the person. Like, it's not everyday trauma. Sometimes
Did you
what's
hear
a
that,
joke?
Tyler Perry?
Yeah. Tired. Yeah.
We're not tired. Like, every
Listen,
day,
it's-
baby's been thrown off
Oh
balconies.
my gosh.
We're exhausted.
We're exhausted.
We're exhausted,
we
Tyler.
are tired because we're living it in our actual day.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it was really nice to just be like there.
Yeah.
Kind of not an airhead, but just fabulous because for
Fun.
fabulous sake.
Yeah.
Fun and fabulous for fabulous sake. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was nice.
Sorry, this isn't something that we've written down, but it just reminds me of one of my favourite songs of yours is Brown Eyes.
Oh
What
wow.
a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful song. Do you want to do more of that stuff, like writing for series and movies and that side of things, or?
I think they just find me.
Yeah.
I think I've been very grateful and very lucky in sync. They've just been like, oh, hey, can we use this song for X, Y, and Z? Brown Eyes was specifically for Supercell. And it's crazy because Rapman didn't even know I had sickle cell, so he was like,
Wow.
yeah, so the stars kind of aligned that way. But I always find it very weird. It's the song that you write in your bedroom that you're like, all right, cool, here you go.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really understand what was going on either. So I was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
you say it's a love scene, fine, I'll do a song for that, I guess.
Yeah.
I would have never put that on my project, but here you go. Do you get what I mean? And then people are messaging me like, when is it coming out?
Yeah,
Are
that
you
sounds like
da-da-da-da?"
a quintessential Bella record to me.
That's crazy.
So pretty.
because I wasn't even thinking about it.
Wow.
I was not even thinking
That's
about it.
sometimes how the
so.
best ones come.
That's
though, you know?
how
Absolutely.
the good
When you
ones come.
think about it too much, you
Yeah,
overthink
yeah,
and you
yeah.
end
For
up
sure.
with
You
something
try
that's
and outsmart yourself,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah. But yeah, I'm really glad people like. I'm glad you.
Brown Eyes, stream that.
Yeah, stream that.
Stream that. Cheers.
Okay, so UK R&B versus US
Yes.
R&B. What would you say the different approaches are?
I feel like for me, there's not even a thing. There's not such a thing as US R&B. For them, it's just R&B. The same way, if we go back to Nigeria, we're not black, we're just Nigerian.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's I think there is UK R&B. I just don't think there's US R&B. It's theirs. It came from them. It evolved from many things. And the African American influence that was media, entertainment, X, Y, and Z influenced our take on R&B.
Yeah.
So this is how I describe it. They're looking at the candle, and we're looking at a picture of the candle. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's a really good analogy.
But amazing things can still come from the picture of the candle.
Absolutely.
They're just getting more of the source material than we are.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And because a lot of us are diaspora kids, we have our back home native influences in our music as well. That's how Evil Eye came about. It was just literally like me saying, oh, I'm Nigerian, so here you go. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no intent of, I didn't even know that Afro R&B was going to have that kind of renaissance.
Yeah.
Because Thames was coming up in that
Yeah.
space. And do you know what I mean? I didn't know it was going to have that. But our advantage over here is the multiple identities and the intersectionality that
For
we have
sure.
with our identities. but there's more. It's just more pure and it's just more refined. And it's more. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, I think those are the main differences, and they're both special. They're both special. Like, one is a black experience, the other is a black experience. It's just told differently through a different lens. Yeah. We have really incredible UK R&B artists here. Like innovate.
Retweet.
I would add innovation to ours because it's so new for us, and because we had to. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of learning from scratch,
For sure.
essentially. So yeah, that's the difference.
Okay, having worked with a number of women in the industry, including
Yes.
Flo, Mira May,
Yes.
is it Manelia?
Manelia.
Manelia. How does collabing with other women shape how you approach music, or having a sense of sisterhood when maybe you go into the studio? Does that make you write differently?
Yeah, I think a lot of the people that I've collabed with, I would love to have a relationship with people before I collab with them. It doesn't always work out like that, but it's nice to kind of be in there a little bit and have a little bit of a rapport before you start collaborating. Manelia's like my sister. She's like a godmother to her son.
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
You don't even know how life is going to change. You meet someone and all of a sudden, batty and bench.
Yeah.
Like, again, like I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah.
So collaborating with her was a no-brainer, and it was like, pull up on me, we're doing this, and then we'd stay ridiculous o'clock in the studio and just get it done. Yeah. With Flo, I was obsessed from the beginning, and I had written the song, and it was with Relight, and they just DM'd me, and they were like, "Hey, girl, we're releasing this in 2 weeks, by the way." And I was like,
Cool.
And I genuinely, to me, they're like little sisters. Sometimes I forget their age, and so I'm like, okay, we're in the same field, and then I'm like, I'll listen to Stella speak, and I'm like, Stella, you're 4. You're 4. Loved them, and that was very, very dope and very, very cute, and I was honoured that they liked my song enough to,
Sweet live stream that.
Stream that, to want to sing. With Mira, again, it's a part of that whole family. I know Manelia and Mira, they built a relationship because they were pregnant around the same time. Okay. And so their kind of sisterly bond brought us together, and it's all just become one big pot of hugs and tears and crying.
How can we, as artists, encourage the UK public to appreciate R&B?
I know that's a hell of a question, babe. Because it's like, what more can we do?
Yeah. What more can we do? I think it's just continuing to do it.
Yeah.
I think if we stop. One thing about me, I'm gonna troll, so I'm never stopping to think pieces. I'm gonna get onto it and be like, and another thing. But I think as artists, as creators, we should stop engaging in the discourse that is harmful to our cause, and just show up and show out, because you'll see the people online talking crazy. You go on the profile and it says follow back. Insane. So you're not talking about me.
It couldn't be.
It couldn't be me that you're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, I think it's about continuously putting out excellence. Yeah. Putting out good quality so that they can't deny that it is good. Everyone has a preference. I'm never going to force someone who's into heavy metal to enjoy R&B. Like, that's just what it is. But if you like R&B, don't be obtuse, and don't write it off because it's from the UK. I think we have that weird thing. I think it's a proximity thing that we have in the UK. The moment you find out that this person could know somebody that you know, all of a sudden they're not eligible for stardom. You can't be famous. Yeah. Because you know my cousin, so you can't be famous.
Very crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
Real bad.
It's very weird, but encourage the scene, having all of us put out music at the same time, in and around each other. And that also trickles down to the funding and the support from the higher ups. But if we can, what's happening now has never happened. Yeah. And so it is a step forward. If we celebrate ourselves and our wins more, and they see us celebrating that, they'll just follow suit. So it's about us putting out music all together, doing it. And we also don't all have to like each other's music to be like, right, you still belong in this space.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, let's all just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you're going to find your... I can not like your music and you're selling out your shows. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You're
There are
doing...
people who we've never heard of that are, have got
selling
millions
out
of people.
millions
God.
Yeah,
of...
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like... It's about encouragement and encouraging each other to still be out there and not let the discourse discourage you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're still doing incredibly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's how I would encourage them. It's like monkey see, monkey do. type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And for the R&B girlies, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Never, ever, ever stop. And my soul girlies as well.
Yes.
You know, R&B, soul, anything in that kind of
space.
vein. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Just keep going.
Yeah.
I think we all need to hear that. Me and Dionne need to hear that. You need to hear that. We need that level of encouragement of just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to beat you?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Her.
Who's going to smack you?
Who will flog me?
Who will you flog you? Who will flog you?
Okay, should we play some games?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this first game is called Memes and Melodies.
Oh.
It's like song association, but with memes.
Oh, period.
So I'll show you a meme.
Okay.
What song comes to mind? Sorry, it's always so dumb.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
What song comes to mind when you see this meme?
Say, Jake. I hear you like I'm young.
Hilarious.
They not like us. They not like us.
So funny.
That's
Very much that.
insane.
That's
okay.
good. I would never have even thought of that.
No,
very-
nor would I.
Certified little boys, certified.
see.
Why is the dog like that?
It's the dog that absolutely sends me into
Sends me into-
orbit. Because why is the dog so suspicious? Hella suspicious.
That's so funny.
I love dogs' emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know when, because it's like, no, that's a human. That's
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
that's been here
And they
before.
don't lie.
yeah.
And they don't
Yeah,
lie.
very,
Humans
very
lie.
true.
They don't.
A classic, a very, very, very big classic.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He said,
Oh, what's that? Couple wet wipes kiss a bum trying to touch me.
That's funny.
I love Junior. Oh my god.
With all my heart. Bring back my wife and kids.
Bring back my wife and kids.
That's actually a really good one.
All right, next game is a bit more interactive.
Ooh.
So I need you to build me an artist.
Oh my god.
Okay.
How's your
Mind you,
skills?
yeah, you
with
don't
the
need to draw.
whiteboard?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I was
No,
gonna say,
no, no.
that's
No,
when
I
they're
wanna do
gonna
that
see
to you.
weakness.
So basically, I want you, or a musician, if a musician is 100%, what percentage is hard work? What
Okay.
percentage is delusion? Or what is the formula to you?
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Bellah.
And you've got like 100%.
I got 100%.
You got 100% by
Can I do a pie chart?
whatever sets you free, sister. Yeah?
Yes.
All right, so talk to us, babes,
Right.
and why you've split it the way that you split it.
This is my if I was an A&R and I was scouting the scout, I'm gonna write the perfect artist in the corner so you can. I'm gonna say the artist, not a artist, the artist.
The artist.
50% is get your ass up and do the work, and that is learning. That is getting better. That is. If you have to train. If you have to do vocal training, do it. If you just have to go for an opportunity, do it. Whatever. But that also ties into 25%. God, faith, delusion. Whether you call it the universe, Hare Krishna, Muhammad, Allah, peace be upon him, God, faith. To me, it's God, Jesus Christ to be specific. But you need the unrelenting, it's gonna work for me.
Yeah, faith, yeah.
Because the world, the universe, whoever you answer to will listen to that and be like, thanks for believing in me. I'm gonna give you what you want. I think it's 12.5 talent. Yes. Specifically in the era that we're in right this second, it is important. Is it the most important? with the artists that we've made famous, with the artists that have gotten the money, have gotten the support, have gotten the X, Y, and Z. Also, if you have 12.5% talent and you do the big thing, you could increase your talent.
Yeah.
See what she did there?
Do you get it? All right. So that is a factor. It's just not the factor anymore. Because I believe, controversial opinion, I believe our best singers are not our best songwriters. They do not have the best songs.
I agree.
They have incredible voices, but not the best
Yeah,
songs.
I agree.
I think people who are maybe not as talented singers write better songs than our
absolutely.
most talented singers.
Yeah.
And that's why the talented singers should get songwriters, period.
Yeah.
Then 6.25, personality / being outspoken.
Yeah.
I think you need a little dash of controversy. Yeah, just a little dash. Get me? Not enough to get rid of the sponsor,
Yeah.
but just enough to have a conversation about what's going on. And then the last 6.25 is the look. Controversial coming from me, I understand.
What do you mean?
What you mean?
As like I'm very like, don't talk about anyone's looks. Don't talk about like, in life.
Okay.
It shouldn't be important. But we're not talking about just regular life. We're talking about the entertainment business. And unfortunately, I've become privy to what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Sad, yes. However, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
It won't change.
it won't change.
No, and
Well, I
it
don't
didn't
see
before
it.
us. You know?
Yeah, I don't see it. We're in a better space.
Yeah.
But I don't see it completely changing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you're gonna have to be some kind of attractive. And if you are darker skinned, you're gonna have to be overly attractive.
Clock it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be the Kelly Rowland type.
Clock it.
That's your archetype. Do you get what I mean? And if you're not that, you're in your India R&B bag, kind of soul sister. Do you get what I mean? If you're a light skin, you've got more wiggle room.
Yeah.
You do, but you still have to be attractive. Yeah, you have to be desirable.
Yeah.
That's for men and for. I feel like for darker skinned men, it's a bit easier, but it's only easier because of the fetishization.
I was just gonna say it's like the
Darker-skinned men.
opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, in this industry, you kind of have to be something that people want to buy into.
Yeah.
And we are visual creatures, and marketing, the packaging needs to look good.
Yeah.
Then if you want to be in entertainment, you have to learn how to do certain
Facts.
things as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts,
Yes?
facts,
No?
facts. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, like if I have to be good with numbers to be an accountant, I have to be good with.
Yeah.
Why does every other job have requirements and then with our job it's just like, oh,
A
do whatever you
free-for-all.
want.
Yeah. To a certain degree.
To a certain degree, exactly.
When you look, it's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this next bit, we have a little playlist going on. So we get all of our guests to give us their track of the week. It doesn't have to be something that's current. It can be something that, you know, it is just something you love growing up or growing up even, but whatever you want. But what is Bella's track of the week?
Should we check?
What's been on a loop?
What's been on Kendrick, guys? Kendrick's been in my... It's Dodger Blue on the new album.
Love.
Yeah.
Love. Well, yeah, that is going straight onto the playlist. Before we sign out, give me something or a couple things that are on your bucket list. Oh. What else is there for Bella to do? Or, where would you like to go?
Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? I want a Grammy. I want 2.
Specifically?
Specifically, well, forgive me, more than 2. Great.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no.
The reason I say 2 always is because one time could be a fluke. I want the second time to be like, no,
Dead ass.
I does this.
Yeah.
I do this. So I always say I want 2 Grammys.
So not same year then?
It could be.
Okay.
I don't mind. I would always, one of these. One of these picks. I think right now, at this moment, I'm fostering a community that I really like. I'm really proud of. So I hope that it grows, and I hope that we get that kind of like cookout feel with a lot of us even in the industry, I think that's something I want to grow.
Yeah.
Like my prior birthdays, like my birthday just went. We dressed up as Soulja Boy.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, I saw this.
Yeah.
I saw this on
She's
Instagram. Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'm having
hilarious.
a time
Yeah.
on seriousness, but I'm just saying, like, as you get older, these are the people who are going to be the godparents to your kids.
Yeah.
They're gonna, for us Nigerians, your naming ceremony, they're gonna be there.
Yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
be, do you know what I mean? And it's just, I think we've lost that a little bit. So I hope bucket list is to create a community that I'm very, very proud of.
Yeah.
I want a late night show performance, a couple. I want to see UK R&B respected.
Yeah.
And I want to be alive, well, and active whilst it's being respected.
Turn that up. Turn
That's
that
the
up.
biggest one. Yeah.
Somebody turn it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to see.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I want a mega superstar to come out of the scene. I want us all to be mega superstars, but I want it to be so possible so that people go, right, cool, I can do that.
Yeah.
I want some money.
Turn that up. Real loud.
I want some money.
Yeah.
Full stop. I don't even want to put a limit on it.
Yeah.
I want some money. And I want a bucket list thing of mine is, I don't know whether it's going to be a label, I don't know whether it's going to be an agency. I want to be in a position where I can help younger creatives financially. Whether that's giving money for a project, giving money for a single, a video, anything. I just want to create an infrastructure that allows younger people to be like, I would like you to fund this. So that's a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, amazing bucket list.
Yeah. Period.
You know, husband, kids, that's all
Yeah.
things that that's not bucket list stuff that's gonna happen.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, it's gonna happen. Yeah,
Husband,
yeah.
Give me money.
Money.
Yeah, I'd rather that. How about that?
Thank
you. Do you
Oh,
want to sign
well,
up?
yeah, thank you so much for coming
you.
on.
love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been lovely. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, yay,
come back.
invite me back.
Yeah, don't forget about us.
Please.
Don't forget about us when you got those Grammys.
Yeah.
And you'll be like,
No,
and
we'll
I
be there
spoke about
together.
this.
Yes.
We heard it. You heard
We're
it.
gonna be there
first.
together. That's what
Exactly.
she said.
Exactly.
What are you wearing to the Grammys?
Yeah,
Granny,
that
that type of
yeah.
beat.
Exactly.
I've already said, I said to the Flow girls in our group chat, I was like, I got a nasty piece of shoe ready for the Grammys. Nasty piece of shoe. I got a
Exactly.
shoe just waiting
Just
for the
waiting
Grammys.
to be one.
It will
Thank
come.
you.
It will come.
It absolutely will
But
come.
thank you, babe. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
coming.
We appreciate you.
Everybody, that was Bella. You know what to do. Subscribe, like, all of that stuff. But
Stream
love.
her music real bad.
Real bad.
And tell a
and
friend to
real
tell a
lot.
friend to
And tell a-
stream it and then keep streaming
And
it.
keep streaming it. And wash. Do you know where you can stream it? Wash your donating blood.
Exactly.
Oh, look how she ate that.
Exactly. That's
You
the
can
most
do
important
both
thing.
simultaneously.
Look at how she ate that. That's been Bella. Woo!